All right, let's talk about AI. You see the headlines, you hear the hype. AI is supposed to change everything, right? But then you pitch your amazing idea to leadership and crickets. Well, today we are going to break down how to build an AI business case that actually gets the green light. And you know what the best part is? You don't have to be a coder to do it. So, let me ask you, have you ever been in that room? You're pumped, you've got this incredible AI idea, and you walk out of the meeting with a nice, polite nod and a classic, let's circle back on this next quarter. Yeah, if that feels a little too real, you are definitely not alone. And the reason why it keeps happening, well, it's probably not what you think. Because here's the big secret. The problem is almost never the technology itself. The AI is here, it's ready. The real issue is how we're talking about it. See, most of the time, the business case is just built all wrong from the very beginning, and it's high time we change that entire conversation. Okay, so to fix the pitch, we first got to understand why it's failing in the first place. Let's really dig into the common mistakes that stop these incredible AI initiatives dead in their tracks. Most pitches tend to make four kind of killer mistakes. First off, they start with what the AI can do, all the cool features, instead of the business results it's actually going to deliver. Second, they talk about it like it's just another piece of software to install, totally ignoring the huge cultural and workflow changes that have to happen. Third, they just assume the data and the talent are ready to go, when, let's be real, they're often not. And last but not least, they don't have clear ways to measure success, beyond things like accuracy, which frankly, doesn't mean a whole lot to the person signing the checks. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It's a strategic problem, not a tech problem. Look, leadership isn't buying a fancy algorithm. They are investing in outcomes. They want to see more revenue, less risk, a real edge over the competition. And if your pitch isn't speaking that language, it was over before it even started. So if the old way of pitching is totally broken, what's the fix? Well, it's this really powerful shift in your mindset. It's called product thinking. And this is how you turn your AI pitch from just another expense into a must-have strategic investment.
Product thinking basically flips the whole question on its head. Instead of getting bogged down in the tool, you focus everything on the outcome. You start treating AI not like a one-and-done project, but like a living, breathing system, something that learns, adapts, and actually creates more and more value over time. It's all about building something that grows, not just something you launch and forget.
And you can really see that shift right here. The old way, the tech-first way, is obsessed with capabilities and getting everything perfect before launch. Product thinking, it's all about business outcomes and embracing iteration. Shipping a simple model that delivers some value right now, and then making it better. And maybe the most important part, it stops seeing AI as a way to replace people and starts seeing it as a teammate that makes everyone better. Okay, enough theory. Let's get really practical. How do you actually build this winning business case, especially if you don't have a team of data scientists on call? Well, it all comes down to this simple 4-part blueprint that you can start using like tomorrow. And here it is. 4 simple steps that speak the language of business: value, risk, and results. You start with the value. You check if it's even possible for your company. You plan for the things that could go wrong, and you define exactly how you're going to prove it was a success. This whole framework is designed to make the project feel way less risky in the eyes of your leadership. So let's zoom in on step 1, the value hypothesis. You have to translate the techie task into a real-world business outcome. So don't say, we want to automate the customer FAQs. No. Instead, you say, we want to cut our support resolution time by 40% and boost customer satisfaction scores by 15% without adding a single person to the team. You feel the difference? One's a task, the other is a result they can take to the bank. And that brings us to step 2, the feasibility check. Now, here's a super important point. This isn't about whether an AI model can technically do the job. It's about whether your organization is actually ready. Do you have the right data, and is it clean? Does your IT team even have the bandwidth for this? Because if that foundation is shaky, even the most brilliant AI in the world is going to fail. All right, this leads us to the final and, you could argue, the most critical piece of this whole puzzle, proving the value of your AI project using numbers and metrics that your leaders actually understand and care about. This is how you don't just get approval once, you get continued investment. Let's just be super blunt here. Your CFO does not care about your model's 98% accuracy score. Seriously, that's an engineering metric. Leaders are making big decisions based on business value, not technical perfection. So we have to start using a totally different playbook of KPIs. Just look at the difference here. On one side, you have what the engineers care about: accuracy, token efficiency. Then, on the other side, you have what leaders care about: things like decision velocity, cost to serve reduction, and this really cool new one, the human augmentation score. These are things that connect directly to the health and growth of the business. So, what the heck is decision velocity? It's basically how much faster you can make a really important business decision. Take this bank, for example. They used AI to take their loan pre-approval process from a painful 72 hours all the way down to just 7 minutes. That isn't just a little bit faster. That is a game-changing competitive weapon. And a fantastic example of reducing the cost to serve comes from the insurance world. One company automated 60% of how they route claims. The result? They cut their processing costs by a whopping 25%. When you can show numbers like that, when AI literally pays for itself, it stops being a cost and becomes an engine for growth. And that brings us to that new idea, the human augmentation score. Instead of measuring how many jobs the AI replaces, you measure what your team can do now with the AI as their partner. Are they handling more cases every hour? Are they giving customers better, more personalized service? This is the metric that proves AI is making your entire system, your people included, smarter and way more effective. When you boil it all down, this is the single most important thing to remember. The success or failure of your big AI idea isn't going to be found in the code. It's in the culture, it's in the strategy, and it's in how ready your organization is to truly embrace a new way of working. So the big idea here is to stop, right now, treating AI like it's just another software project that you build, launch, and then move on from. You've got to think of it like a new operating system for your entire business, one that's always learning, always improving, and creating more and more value over time. But it only works if you build the right foundation for it first. So I'll leave you with this one question to take back to your team. Look, it's not a matter of if you're going to adopt AI anymore, it's a matter of how. By shifting to product thinking, you can build a business case that doesn't just get a yes, but one that truly transforms your company from the inside out. So the question is your organization ready?